Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 6th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. If you look closely, you can see a little bit of forest fire smoke up here across southwest BC. Not too much yet, but it is kind of an early start to the season here. I don't know if this is a fire here across Vancouver Island, and I don't know if this is just blowing dust off of Mount St. Helens or what exactly that is. Something to look into today. Have not had the time just yet. As you look down across the southern portions, you're going to have some strong storms moving out of Nevada into southern Idaho and Oregon, and we have a severe weather chance across portions of the Pacific Northwest for the next 3 days. We'll take a look at those details coming up here in a minute. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, click on the link down below. Save 10%. This I cannot recommend higher. This is a really nice weather station, totally wireless, all solar powered, ultrasonic anemometer here, and it's very accurate. This is my home station. You can see anywhere you can access the web, you can get your data there. The smartphone app is really good as well. Very impressed with the station. Anyway, back to the Pacific Northwest here. Fire weather update. National Weather Service Seattle. It is very dry out there, and there's a red flag warning across a lot of the Cascades. You can see the low relative humidity, so watch out there. Avoid activities with open flames or sparks. Watch out for your cigarette butts and stay off the dry grass out there. This is looking at that red flag warning across the Cascades here. Again, nice graphics here from the National Weather Service Seattle. This is breezy and dry this morning. You can see the Okanagan River winds here coming down through that conduit here near Omak, and so it's bringing some gusty winds here across the area in the morning. Should be relaxing here in the afternoon here, but just watch out for that. Fires can easily spread. This is Spokane National Weather Service talking about this daily chance of thunderstorms all the way through the weekend coming up here, and we are going to deal with the potential for some severe thunderstorms out towards Spokane as well. This is looking at thunderstorms and rain showers here on the National Weather Service. Again, Wednesday through Saturday, mainly in the afternoon and evening hours. Watch out for those gusty winds, downpours, abundant lightning, small hail out there. This was issued this morning here from the National Weather Service. This is for, I believe, for Boise, Idaho, it is. Yes, locally damaging winds, heavy rain and hail, blowing dust. Could have a severe thunderstorm. Comes right up to the line there, the marginal risk, right towards Boise there. And this is issued today, so watch out for those storms moving up from the south and the southeast today. This is lightning safety. Great graphics today from the National Weather Service, Medford, Oregon. Here you can see when thunder roars, go indoors. Here it tells you where to go. You're always safe inside a car, or at least usually so. And again, this is for Pendleton, Oregon, kind of showing the same thing with the potential for some severe storms all the way through Thursday coming up here, including Spokane on Thursday, including Baker City tomorrow, up towards Pendleton, for example, as well. Now, this is looking at the heat and safety tips here, National Weather Service, Portland here. So you can see, I don't know how long those popsicles are going to last on that plate out there, but it is going to warm up quite nicely across the region for the next few days. We'll take a look at those temperatures towards the end of the video. Now, I ran this one, percent of average precipitation from May 6th to June 4th. Look at this, just ridiculously dry across western Washington, and starting to include a lot of areas across eastern Washington as well. It's a few areas still above average, but the overall message here is we are extremely dry so far this year, and especially over the last 30 days. Here's Oregon, western Oregon, very dry. Some of the east slopes of the Cascades have above average precipitation, as you can see there, though. And I've been showing this last couple days as well. Significant wild and fire potential outlook. The Pacific Northwest is bullseyed here, July, August, September. So watch out there across the backcountry especially. This is Seattle yesterday, 73. What a very nice day out there. No precipitation, and we are going to warm up on those temperatures today, probably towards the upper 70s for Seattle, and then even warmer on Wednesday, and probably another 80-degree day on Thursday. This is looking at day one thunderstorm outlook. You can see the severe chance there across some of southern Idaho and southern Oregon. The threat moves northward as we go on into tomorrow, includes much of Idaho and eastern Oregon, and then Thursday it does include Spokane, the Panhandle, and western Montana. This is looking at last night's NAMRA. The models are having some difficulty loading this morning, so I'm just going to go ahead and show this one. It's pretty similar to what we should see. This is what the Doppler radar may look like through this afternoon. Look at some of these storms. Robust lightning producers here. Gusty outflow winds, maybe bringing a severe storm towards Boise as you go through the evening tonight. And then as we go through tomorrow, you see that threat shift a little bit further north across Idaho, maybe even approaching places like Lewiston, the Blue Mountains here across northeast Oregon as well. And then Thursday, we're going to rinse and repeat repeat and bring that severe threat a little bit further north. You can see even some thunderstorm activity popping up across some of eastern Washington, possibly. This is looking at the thermal trough here. You can see the high pressure, kind of a classic signature of the heat waves here across the Pacific Northwest. We get this low pressure that moves up the coastline by default, and we get kind of this offshore flow. It allows us to warm up here west of the Cascades, which is what is happening here the next few days. Now, this is looking at the European, the wider view of things, however. This is at 18,000 feet, 500 millibars. There's Alaska, BC, Washington, Oregon. Big ridge over Canada. I mean, look at those heights. A lot of warm air up over the region there. Here we go through Wednesday night. You can see the ridge kind of building here across Alberta. Another low pressure system dives towards California. We keep the ridging kind of going here as we go through the weekend a bit. But we are going to bring some kind of a southeast flow here across the region. We'll look at that a little bit more here. But I don't know how much precipitation we're going to be spreading west of the Cascades. However, you see that ridge back up, and then we start to bring this trough down. This would be off into next week. And the GFS was kind of better at sniffing this out versus the European. The GFS has not been doing too bad at sniffing out some of these features here recently. So, yeah, go GFS, right? So you can see that trough settle down through the extended, but we're looking at 10 plus days out for the, so far. So that's a little bit too far out to be looking and trying to build any confidence on as of right now. This is looking at the GFS, total precipitation in inches. You can see the thunderstorm activity as you go through the day-to-day across southern portions, Idaho, Montana. And then as we go through a Wednesday, some of that activity should be moving north. And Thursday, yet again, you could get some of those thunderstorms across some of eastern Washington here. Look at some of these little streaks of precipitation here. You can get some really locally heavy rainfall across some of the panhandle into eastern Washington here as you go on in through Thursday night as well. And then you notice this precipitation encroach from the east there towards the Cascades as we go through the day Friday towards southwest BC as well. So we'll be watching for that here. We'll go over that in some more detail tomorrow. And it's not showing much lightning west of the Cascades as of right now. But you'll notice we're not getting much precipitation here across western Washington and Oregon. And you got to go way out into the extended forecast for some kind of fantasy frontal system to move through the area here. Still not bringing a lot of precipitation. We're at 300 hours out, purely fantasy at this point. This is yesterday afternoon's European run here, and you can kind of see the deeper moisture here out across the eastern portions here, bringing that thunderstorm threat. You can see that deeper moisture move into eastern Washington on Thursday for a severe threat, and then try to make its way towards the Cascades as we go on in through Friday here and try to make its way out a little bit further west. But we'll watch that one. Again, not much lightning showing up for western Washington or southwest BC just yet. So here we go. This is the lightning flash density potential. I might as well show you since we're here, right? Here we go. You can see the thunderstorm threat daily. There was Tuesday. Here we go until Wednesday afternoon there. Here we go on into Thursday, and you can notice nothing making it too far west just yet. But you see on Thursday, this kind of moves across some of the portions of eastern Washington. And as we go on in through Friday, you'll notice it's trying to make some headway out into BC here, a little bit here. But by Saturday morning, maybe some thunderstorms across the higher terrain of British Columbia. I don't know. We'll check that out a little bit more. I'm not sure if I believe the models fully, but you can see maybe some lightning for the North Cascades as we go on into Sunday. Now, looking at the national blend of models, look at Seattle today, 79. Portland, 91 degrees. Not out of the question for a 90-degree day there. Look at the Willamette Valley warming up quite nicely. Eastern Washington, as we go on into Thursday, look, mid and upper 80s again. Forecast for Seattle towards 90 for Portland. Thursday, maybe another 80-degree day for Seattle. Something similar for Portland, a few degrees warmer as per usual. But look at some of the valleys there across British Columbia here on Thursday, really warming up. Look at this, getting some up towards the upper 90s for some of the areas up there. There we go. Friday, we cool back down a little bit here. Saturday, we bounce back, and you notice these temperatures are above average for a lot of the region here Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe another system coming on in through later the following week here. But purely fantasy at this point. This is 6 to 10 day temperature outlook here, goes through June 15th. You can see the bullseye here on the Pacific Northwest. Here we go, 8 to 14 day through June 19th, kind of highlighting Washington State here. But you see the Southwest USA kind of under that gun for below average temperatures here as we go through the mid portions of June. This is 6 to 10 day precip. Look at that little below normal area up here across western Washington here, and the above average across the Intermountain West. 8 to 14 days, something similar. This is looking at the June 1st European El Nino plume. Once you get above 1, you're in moderate El Nino territory, and virtually every single ensemble from the European says we are headed towards moderate or higher levels. So 1.5 would be a strong El Nino, and there's a big percentage of them that show us getting into that strong El Nino territory, and the average is probably somewhere up towards 2. So that's quite a strong El Nino that looks like is coming our way here across the equatorial Pacific. I do have an educational video on what you can expect for El Nino years for the Pacific Northwest, but we'll continue to go over some of that information here as we go through the following months. But just kind of interesting here to see such a strong El Nino being forecast. But anyway, yeah, get out there and enjoy the weather out, but let's try to keep the forest fire starts to a minimum. We are already very dry here across Pacific Northwest. Hopefully this is not something that is a precursor for the rest of the year, and hopefully we start to get some systems in here and try to moisten things up a bit. But right now we're just dealing with thunderstorms, mainly east parts, and not much precipitation showing up across southwest BC, western Washington, or western Oregon. So anyway, yeah, I'll do this video again tomorrow. Like always, I may go out dust devil chasing today. We'll see how that goes, and if so, I'll probably report back with a video there. I know a lot of people like to see those dust devils rolling around out there. And yeah, so anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.